For you, you've had an interesting road into acting. I always find in talking to actors that you all appreciate the process, the early beginnings. Now, granted, you appreciate it more when you have like a steady job and like, you have gigs coming in all the time and you're working steadily. But for you, how often or how much do you think about those days where you sold shoes?
I think about so much of my old, where I was to where I am. Like, I first moved to LA. I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, 3 people. Somebody would be on the couch every once in a while. It was literally registration or rent. It was lunch or gas. Like, it was always an or conversation. Like, that's just what my first 3-4 years in LA were like, 5 years maybe even were like. And I think about that so much because I think about like all the people I met along the way, but like all the moments where like my car got booted and I had to go to work, but I lived like 5 miles away from the Beverly Center where I was the Al Bundy of the Beverly Center selling women's shoes. Like, so how was I going to get to work? And there was no bus line immediately by my house. You know what I mean? Like, just thinking about all those moments and like, they give you something. The struggle is obviously not necessarily fun, but it is worth it, I think, in the long run, because it just gives you like a perspective and a work ethic, and you're able to just look at things and be like, yo, I can survive through anything.
Well, that's
like as Jay-Z said, I can survive in a drought. Like, you know what I mean? Like, through anything.
Well, what did you learn about yourself to be able to overcome some of those very financial obstacles and very just real obstacles, period?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely realized that like I will not quit. I mean, because there's, when you're young, you move to LA, you have big dreams, and you get here and you realize that like it takes a little bit longer than what you thought. Like, not every opportunity is just like sitting there waiting for you to get to the city. I think it made me realize like, oh, I need to work harder and smarter because somebody else is doing it. So if I'm not, somebody else is. I think that was one thing. 2, it made me really realize like how to manage my money better. Just real talk. Like, whether I had to choose Panda Express or gas, like I realized like I can't keep having this conversation with myself, which means I need to make another choice. I need to do something in my life to put me in a better financial position, whether that's trying to go for an assistant manager job because it's a little bit more money, or a manager job, or getting a part-time job, whatever it is. Like, I need to put myself in a position where I'm not constantly having to think about like, am I going to eat or am I going to walk to work? Like, you shouldn't have to live like that all the time. Like, just little things like that. And then I think discipline for me, like, we're in a city where like, I was telling my dad this the other day. My cousin plays for the XFL Wildcats, and we were at his football game the other day, and I had this moment where I literally realized, like, oh, there are 9 sports teams within 30 miles of each other in Los Angeles. Not to mention, you got the Wiltern and the Greek and the Troubadour, and you could go do something every single night in LA and completely be distracted and not be focused on the thing that you came here to do. And like, I just focus for me just became such a big thing where I was like, oh, I can't be out running around in clubs, like drinking off somebody else's bottle. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't keep doing this. Like, I need to focus on buying my own bottle if that's what I want. And like, that was a big gear shift for me.
So do you still find yourself as successful as you've become, and obviously more success to come, suffering from what I like to call broke traumatic stress disorder?
All day.
All day.
All day.
Right.
All day.
Yeah.
I will circle around for meter parking, and I'm like, I can valet. It's $6. I can valet.
It just never leaves you sometimes.
But it just never leaves you, right? Like, I still pull in the parking lots, and I'm like, $20? Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm going to park down the street. At the Staples Center, I will not park at the Staples Center. I'm like, yo, nah, bro.
I'm impressed you're driving to it, to be honest. Like, because it's such a mess around there,
It's just little things like that where you remember all the times when you did it before, and to park a mile away from the Staples Center then was like, yo, I only parked for $7. Like, it was such a, like, you know what I'm saying?
Such a win.
Yeah, it was such a win. And then you pull up for $20 parking and you're like, I'm not doing that because I can park for $7. I know I can park for $7 down there. I'm not paying you $20, bro. Come on.
So are you still the person that if you're in the grocery store and it's a pack of wings for $7 and then there's another pack for like $6.98, are you picking up the $6.98?
Always.
Keep it real.
I literally stare at organic. When I go to the grocery store, I literally stare at organic food and not organic food. And I'm like, I mean, it's just celery, right? Like, what could they really do to it? Like, like how much not organic could the celery really be if I go over here?
Like, do I really need to be that healthy?
You know what I'm saying? All the time.
Well, I mean, but I think the downside when you do go through all those struggles, especially financially, is that it's good that you never allow yourself to get comfortable, right? But at the same time, are you able to, in this moment, appreciate what you've accomplished?
Very hard for me. Mm-hmm. It's been very, very hard. It took me probably until, honestly, I would say a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, to really just be able to step back and go like, oh, I maybe haven't done everything that I wanted to do, but I've accomplished a lot. And it really took me a minute to like really wrap my head around like, yo, you could go away for a week. Like, the city's not going to shut down. Like, your phone not going to stop ringing. Like, you could go away. It's okay. And when I first moved here, when I first started acting, I didn't leave LA for 3 years at all. I missed birthdays. I missed friends' games, cousins' games, everything. Like, I didn't go anywhere. Like, Christmas might have been the only time I traveled, and it's because the city was completely shut down because I was always afraid, like, oh, I'm going to miss an audition. They're going to call as soon as I get on the plane, and I got to, like, turn around and come back, or I can't take my trip. And then that's $200 I paid on a plane ticket, and I got a boot on my car, or LA about to boot my car in a few days because I got $600 worth of parking tickets. So I just got into this mindset where like I couldn't leave. Like it was always work, work, work. And then after working for so long, I looked up and I was like, man, like when was the last time I told somebody literally the summer. So for season 3, Lawrence shows up midway through the season. Well, we aired over the summer. And because I didn't go out and promo, because we didn't know if Lawrence was coming back, because I didn't promo those first 4 episodes, that was the first time that I had a real summer off, not working in 9 years. Like I had been always either filming or out doing promo for the game, straight into Insecure, for movies, straight into Insecure. And so it was the first time I remember saying like, yo, I haven't had a summer and I don't even know what to do in the summertime. Like, do I just go to a pool? Like, do people still go to the beach? Like, is that what's hot? Like, it was just such a crazy experience. And it made me realize that like, I need to take moments and like celebrate myself and be like, yo, you had a win. Like, buy yourself them J's. It's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You had a win.
You're not going to be in poverty.
You don't have to go to the sale section. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know that sometimes can be even more difficult because, you know, you get put in grind mode and it's hard to get out of it to the point where you are able to say, hey, you know what? I did some things here. Yeah. Like, I'm good. I'm okay. Because that sense of it can all be taken away. Yeah. I don't know if that's just some black shit that we just go through or if like everybody does, but sometimes I work like literally somebody is coming to my house and they take it tomorrow and they repossessing everything. And I'm like, the fuck am I doing? Like, well, why am I doing this stuff?
All the time.
Yeah.
It's such a weird mindset. And I don't know if that's out of like, I think part of it is the hustle. I think part of it is like, you don't want to be complacent, but like, it's such a weird, because you could take a step back. And part of you goes like, man, I should go on that vacation. But then you go, I can't do that because if I do that, then that's a few dollars right there that like somebody going to try to take from me 2 weeks from now. So you know what? I'm not going to do that. It's just such a weird thing. Like it's such a weird conversation that constantly like be inside your head, like going back and forth on.
That's why I call it a broke traumatic stress disorder. That's exactly why. Because it's like, it's some things that never leave you.